television. Oh my goodness, he's just pointing the camera at his screen. What a moron. Well, you may be right on that, but I am slightly less of a moron now that I've learned a few things about some of the hidden gotchas in cheap home networking equipment that I'm going to share here in part 2 of this discussion as a response to some of the feedback that I received in the comments, particularly about the rather bizarre idea that a wireless AC router with maximum Wi-Fi speeds over 100 megabits per second can still have 10100 Ethernet ports on it. I was surprised when I saw it. Once I found out this was going on, I was glad I didn't impulse buy one of the AC routers at Walmart that was a lot cheaper. I'm just putting up with N for the time being while figuring out when I want to make the jump to AC, because it's more important to get more speed on the wired side with the desktops than it is to do anything with the mobile and laptops as of yet. So, network topology is something that even folks doing stuff at home have to think about nowadays. It's not just for enterprise or educational environments anymore. So, let's take a look at some stuff on the internet here. Walmart.com, filtered by available in store. Most of this is the stuff that's available in the local Walmart. Couldn't filter it all the way or clip out all the other stuff. I clipped out like the superfluous Walmart branding and stuff and left just the product listings. But even in the product listings, there's a few things that are irrelevant to this discussion. So you have router. Then you get into the combo modem routers and the Orbeez, and those are modems. Those are modem routers. And then we have the AC 1900, the beast, over $100 for a router with a dual-core 1 gigahertz processor. I always knew these things were small computers, but it's when you get to that price point for that specification, I start to wonder if I could do better by building myself a low-end, low-power Linux box and then putting antennas on it somehow. So there's got to be a way to do that. Tutorials for building your own router and the like. Put DDWRT on it, run Linux, and have a blast with it. So, the Netgear, let's go through this catalog over on Netgear. Well, this is what's available over on Walmart.com. But before we get into the discussion, with some of these routers, if you look on the box, it's going to say fast Ethernet ports. And you're like, yay, cool. Maybe you might think that because the Wi-Fi is several hundred megabits per second max, that they won't have 10100 ports. And you would be wrong, because Fast Ethernet is actually a formal term for 10100. Fast Ethernet is fast in the same way that 1080p was full HD. It's a dated formal term that references how this technology was versus what came before it back when it first came out. So, you have Fast Ethernet because 10100 was faster than 10. And you had 1080p as full HD because there was more resolution at the time than 720p, and 4K wasn't a thing with televisions yet. So, let's take a look at this. Wikipedia time, baby. Fast Ethernet. In computer networking, fast Ethernet physical layers carry traffic at the nominal rate of 100 megabits per second. The prior Ethernet speed was 10 megabits per second. Of the fast Ethernet physical layers, blah, 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 IEEE standard came out in 1995. It remained the fastest version of Ethernet for 3 years before the introduction of gigabit Ethernet. So, fast Ethernet is technically a way to cover up the fact nowadays that your device has 10100 ports while making it sound good. Shut up, phone! Lots of news going around because of the C bug and today's daily updates from the governor and stuff like that. Anyways, Fast Ethernet. Technically, you can still advertise Fast Ethernet ports to try and snooker people into buying 10100 devices, even if they're running 802.11 AC, like some of these cheaper routers here. We have the AC 750 at $40, the AC 1000 at $45, the AC 1200 around $60, 1600 around $79. You work your way up to the beast, the Netgear Nighthawk 1900 with its dual-core 1 gigahertz processor at nearly 100.5. But we're not going to need to get that high here before we see this goofy stuff in action. Let's go over to, beginning with, the AC 750 from Netgear. Dual-band Wi-Fi router. 300 to 433 megabit per second Wi-Fi speeds, up to 3 times faster than 802.11n. Scroll down into the technical specifications, though. Number of Ethernet ports, 5 10-100 Ethernet ports. 1 WAN, 4 LAN. Hope you're using this as a repeater for something else. So, what's the point of getting this versus an old N router for like $30 or something, since you know it's going to be bottlenecked by that 10-100 stuff? Let's go up to the next tier at $45, the AC1000. Now we're not buying the cheapest router in the store. Dual band, better streaming, online gaming, 300 to 700 megabit per second speeds. Of course, we know that Wi-Fi speeds are based on things like radio reception, things like that. That's a totally different discussion. Let's get into the tech specifications. 300 to 700 megabits per second. Woohoo! Number of Ethernet ports, 5 10-100 megabit per second fast Ethernet ports. 1 WAN and 4 LAN with auto sensing technology. So, 10-100 fast Ethernet. Remember the Wikipedia stuff we just got done talking about. So, oh yeah, go ahead, buy this thing. Spend, what was it again? This is an AC1000. So please, by all means, spend nearly $50 on a device whose Wi-Fi is way better than its Ethernet, including its WAN ports. I dare ya. No, just kidding. Please don't. Move up instead to the $60 mark, the Netgear AC1200. Smart Wi-Fi router, starting to look like the Netgear Nighthawk beasts that are out there these days, and that's actually on sale as of this recording, so it's normally $75. However, Smart Wi-Fi router delivers AC1200 Wi-Fi and gigabit Ethernet speed, so you can enjoy the speed and reliability for applications such as lag-free and stuff like that. And this is the part where you finally get gigabit wired. So, it's about time. You're well into AC territory and stuff like that. And there you go. Ethernet ports, 5, 10-100, 1000 gigabit ports with auto sensing technology, so the link speed is based on what it's hooked up to. So if it's gigabit, it'll go gigabit. Nothing new, nothing exciting. However, finally, you eliminate the risk of a bottleneck at the $60 price point. So $75 normally, but on sale right now. But this is, I might get one actually just to see how effective it is. Maybe I can retire all the N gear or something, or keep the gear around in case something fails. But do I really want to be spending another $60 on a router when I know the bottleneck in my home network is currently the power line circuit, and I don't want to be doing gaming on wireless? Now let's continue. If you want to get the really robust stuff, then you're talking AC1600, which is $80. And this is interesting because this is the gotcha of Walmart, because I didn't see the $60 one in store. It jumped straight to the $80 one. So this isn't as accurate as it could be. However, the AC1600 could be a situation where the buyers decide put the next model up so that technical people who know that they're looking for gigabits will buy the second cheapest model instead of the cheapest in order to upgrade that way. So, 802.11 AC, dual band gigabit. By the way, I would get the 1200. I'd get the $60 one. I'd get the $60 one just to eliminate the bottleneck, and then upgrade later based on how the technology progresses. Because right now I'm just trying to figure out how to get the speed that I'm paying for right now with the network topology that I have. AC1600 Wi-Fi, 1300 megabit per second and gigabit wired. So it is a beast, but not as big of a beast as the freaking Nighthawk with the 3 antennas. $149.99, dual core, 1 gigahertz processor. This thing is a computer. This thing is a monster. So, this thing is an absolute monster when it comes to home routers. I'm just surprised we're talking about computery sounding stuff like dual-core processors on routers this soon. But, yeah, gigabit, of course. You have several models, not several, but you have 2 models at the low end that are still a potential bottleneck versus just using an N router. So you figure an N router would be like $20, $30. The cheapo routers that I use are $30. So they're doing wireless N up to 300 a second. Of course, network performance is dependent upon how the radio works and what kind of reception you get and the device that you're hooking up to. So you have that kind of stuff you got to consider as well. So that's the thing. You might also have to buy thumbsticks to get AC speeds if all your devices were made for N. So it's not like if you buy one of the bottleneck routers that you're going to always see a bottleneck. But the potential is there. And when you consider the significant digits involved, that N routers are 30, the most expensive of the gotcha routers is 45, and right now, the entry-level no bottleneck one is 60. Why not just, in the grand scheme of things, is $30 that significant in order to jump up to something that is going to properly support everything and not hit you with some gotchas like fast Ethernet on an AC device? Yeah. Like I said, you gotta know what you're looking for before you go buy it, and there's just all kinds of gotchas out there with cheapo stuff like this. So, hope this has been amusing, entertaining, but most importantly, enlightening. MultimediaJay out.